and welcome to my web broadcast. It's January 5th of 2018. Now I continue to feel very intense pain in my broken bones, particularly in my right collarbone. It has been nearly 2 months since Ryan Kaywood assaulted me here on my property, which you can see on video at sacredspacechurch.net. And instead of arresting him, they have charges pending against me, headed for an upcoming jury trial. Now, the sheriffs and the prosecutors have refused to give documents about me. The Nelsonville police have refused to give documents about me. The Bookdole police, the NSA, the FBI have all refused to give records about me. Oblenis Memorial Hospital, Hopewell Health Center, all of these agencies have violated the law and failed to give records about me. Now, what are they hiding? That is the question. Now, they are the criminals. The police now are the criminals. And you can also see here that they have put a brain implant into me, making me a second-class citizen. They call people like me now cyborgs, and when I first reported being a cyborg, I got my x-rays at Oblenis Hospital, which you can see here, clearly proving it. There's a BrainGate 2 wireless implant in my forehead, cochlear implant they put in my right ear. And when I went public about it, what happened was the sheriffs came and kicked down my door just for creating a website, brainimplant.info. We actually do live in a neo-Nazi terrorist police state, but most people don't realize it because they go after people like me who are their critics, because I've sued police 3 times and I've been working very strongly to repeal the Patriot Act and also to restore civil liberties in the Constitution of the United States. And now I have been the victim of scores upon scores of criminal acts, major criminal acts, an enormous number of assaults, as you've seen on video, and also scores upon scores of acts of vandalism. And even when I know who did it, for example, this guy, Mr. Akande, backed in purposefully into a building I put windows on, breaking the windows, and that makes that building, where it was really easy to heat, now it takes an enormous amount of wood in the wood stove if I want to heat it, where it used to pretty much heat on its own, just with the greenhouse effect. And the sheriffs, they came over and the guy admitted to doing it, but the sheriff still would not arrest him. Now also about a dozen different people have gouged deep gouges in my historic hardwood floor. My historic floors date back at least a century. My house dates back to the 1800s. It's extremely historic. The Historic Register found it noteworthy of historic preservation. And instead of arresting these people, the sheriffs did nothing about it. And if you had the chance to discipline, if you had the chance to punish Adolf Hitler, what would you have done? Of course he committed suicide. But we have the opportunity now to punish millions of people who are more evil than Adolf Hitler and Osama bin Laden. They include Sheriff Rodney Smith. They include Chris Henry from Hopewell Health Center. Now, Chris Henry's the one that locked me up just for publishing my x-rays on the internet showing they put the brain implant in. What he should have done is locked up the doctors who did it. And Sheriff Rodney Smith, he came over once at midnight when I called 911 when Tim Shields kicked down my door. Now instead of arresting Tim Shields, Rodney Smith said, "Why don't you just sit down and talk to him?" Ugh. Now, Rodney Smith is a criminal, dereliction of duty. And I've reported scores of crimes he's done nothing about, and then he's trumped up these bogus charges against me. They are alleging I harassed the dispatchers by calling 911 when the same guy who had just assaulted me had come back to my property to assault me again. So the dispatchers too are criminals and terrorists. Now the way to deal with these neo-Nazi goons is to pass legislation taking all of their property, including their pensions, and give it to their victims. These people are more evil than Adolf Hitler and Osama bin Laden. So it is probably legal to deal with them in other means, actually. They're also being enemy combatants. It's certainly legal. And also now that they've allowed me to get broken bones, presumably that has created now a legal precedent where it's legal to break people's bones. Just make sure it's the ones who deserve it. But the best way to do it is passing legislation seizing these people's money, their assets, giving it to their victims, people like me. That's the best way to deal with it, and leave them with nothing, and also, of course, ridiculing them. And then, of course, we'll need to replace them with a totally new police force. We don't even need mental health screeners because it's not in the Constitution where that's legal. But we are going to need entirely new police. The current ones are corrupt, they're all bought off, they're trained to be Nazis, and they need replaced. And obviously we also need to repeal the Patriot Act. That's what's created this neo-Nazi terrorist police state that we now live in. So I hope people do get involved. If we're going to save our country, it's going to take some serious action. I also have a new website, constitutionclub.net. Have a great day. Bye.